be able to do it, whereas you are using business funding, OPM, other people's money, you literally have to have some access to capital. So gas cards aren't going to help you. Net 30 trade lines, they're not going to help you. Your Amazon bank card is not going to help you. Or should I say your Amazon business credit account is not going to help you. And understand that really the reason why so many people sell people on that business credit strategy, because it comes from a place where people really think they're doing something. And so you have that school of thought. You have those individuals who are telling people, hey, I'm going to get you some, some business credit, and I'm going to help you get all those things. And people really do feel like they're getting somewhere, because remember, it's an immediate result, boom, you can get a net 30 account right over the internet. It takes no hassle to get one. You can possibly even get a trade line, a gas trade line account for your business right over the internet. Takes no effort. So once again, you're feeling good, but you still haven't got to the money. And so you have those people who are selling you on that. They are selling you on, this is what you need to do to get business credit. So you have those pool of people who are teaching you. And then you have the pool of people who are straight teaching you fraud, and I'm not going to call out no names or no gurus. I am not going to call out no YouTube channels, but you got people who are straight telling people to fraud. They're telling people to falsify your name, put uncles and aunties that you never had to get some funding. And understand, we already know that this time and place with the PPP fraud, this is not the time. This is not the time, because I'm telling you, if you don't get anything from this webinar that I am hosting tonight, is that bank fraud carries a very heavy sentence. That's right. It carries a very hefty sentence. We already seeing that, with the PPP. The stuff is coming down the line with the PPP, where people have told people, this is what you need to do in order to get to the bag. So I wouldn't play around. So understand, tonight, I'm not going to share with you anything that's going to land you in jail. That is why I'm doing an open forum, because rest assured, anything you learn tonight, I can stand next to it and say, yes, I did share with people this information. So let's get into the topic at hand. And so I am going to share my screen. So give me a second. But before I go into that, I want you to really think what it is that you're truly trying to get access to. And most people will say, well, I'm really trying to get access to funding. And I get that everybody wants to get to the money. But really, what are you looking to do? Because most people don't even know what their funding goal is. They don't even know how much money they want. They don't even know what they want, because the one missing target that most people have, the reason why most people can't even get to the funding, is because they really don't know what they want. So they'll come to me and they've been sold some guru's course, and the guru has told them about how they can flip land deals, get into mobile homes, fix and flips, Airbnbs, or what have you. But the missing piece is nobody can get to the bag. Nobody can get to the bag. Nobody can get to the funding. And so I'm going to close a lot of open loops for you, because many people are looking for someone to close that open loop, because they've been told something in a maybe in a Facebook group, and maybe even a course that they've taken, and they don't really know the full picture. So I'm going to help you to close some of those things. But before I get started, I never want to assume that people know who I am. I know I did a very long introduction, but I pretty much wanted, individuals to understand what they are going to get access to tonight. But like I said, never want to assume you know who I am. My name is Brown-Phillips, and I'm not new to the subject of credit. I'm the creator and visionary of Never Lose a Deal. The reason why I say it's never lose a deal is because if I can help you, the real estate investor, get access to six figures in funding, you have options. You have options to invest in more deals. You have options to jumpstart your business. You even have options to do multifamily investing. And the reason why I primarily say multifamily investing, because if you have watched any of my videos on YouTube, and I share a lot about investor loans, non-QM, non-qualified loans, because if you're really trying to build a portfolio, FHA is only going to take you but so far. And I get it. For some people, FHA is a launching pad. And I tell people, if FHA is what you want to start with, by all means, I'm not your person. I'm the person, whereas you may be a business owner who wants to get into real estate, or you may be a real estate investor who wants to expand what you do in real estate. And from the lender's standpoint that there are limitations. Now, once again, I'm talking to investors who are doing deals. And the reason why I want to say investor doing deals, because they're going to understand this landscape that I'm going to point out. The reason why I point out that the benefits of non-qualified loans, which are called investor loans, is because if you can show a lender bank statements, if you can show a lender that you are profitable, meaning that you do bring in money into your business, but you may not have everything structured in regards to tax returns, but you may have a deal. You have a deal. This investing deal shows that it is profitable. For example, multifamilies. And on paper, when the lender does the due diligence, he or she sees that the deal is profitable. Now, if anyone has ever tried to get FHA, one of the things that FHA looks at is DTI, debt to income ratio. Even some conventional loans even look at debt to income ratio. Well, that is the beauty of investor loans, because with investor loans, they're not looking at DTI. They're looking at the DSCR, the debt service coverage ratio. That is a calculation that lenders look at to be able to see, is the property profitable? Will the deal, the property, make, is it going to generate revenue? Is it going to generate income? And so for the investor who likes to invest in deals that are going to create some type of passive income, and they know that FHA, they may have already did something with FHA. Maybe they have a primary home or what have you. So they know that FHA is not going to be the next step for them to expand their portfolio. And that is where investor loans come in. So investor loans allows the investor to invest in multifamily, triplexes, duplexes, depending on where in the country you live at. Like here in the Northeast, where I'm at in New Jersey, duplexes, triplexes are not really common, but multifamilies, 3 families, 2 families, 4 families, 6 families, those are very plentiful here in this part of the country. And so if I am a business owner, and I know that, I don't have the best tax returns, but I know my business is generating a profit. I can show you. I can show that revenue is coming in. Non-qualified loans are for you. non-qualified, because you are bringing in revenue for your business. Now, I want to apologize if anyone is asking questions, because I am going to be sharing my screen, so I won't be able to do the both at the same time. But going back to what I said, so you can show that you have revenue, you have income coming into your business, that you can show that you are a qualified candidate, because although the investor is going to look at the DSCR of the deal, they're also going to look at you. They're going to want to make sure that you have the liquidity to even be able to take on the deal. Now, you may wonder, well, where does the funding come in? Where does the six figures in funding? Well, this is the part that really, for novice investors, and reason why I'm calling out novice investors, because you know who you are. You are the investor who is looking to be the real estate millionaire. You won six figures in passive income. You have been sold the dream. You have drank the juice of the guru who've told you of all the passive income that you can generate with real estate. And by all means, vision is important. I get it. You need to have a dream. But you also have to understand that many of the individuals that people are listening to, that people are trying to learn from, they are at their chapter 30. You are at your chapter 31. So what does that mean? That means that they have did the sweat equity, they have relationships with lenders, they have liquidity. They're not starting at square one. And what does that also mean? They understand that they're not trying to say, I want a no money down deal from day one. Now, they can do no money down deals where they're at now because they're at chapter 30, but you're in chapter 1. So now you are a new investor who's drinking the juice, and you're thinking, hey, I want six figures in funding because I don't want to put no skin in the game, and I want six figures in passive income. And my answer to you, I'm not your person, because I'm not going to sell you that Kool-Aid for you to drink. You got to go to somebody else. So understand, the person that I'm talking to tonight understands that in order for them to expand their real estate portfolio, in order for them to get into investor loans like the ones that I'm talking about, where you don't show bank statements, you don't show tax returns, it's literally the deal that is being looked at to see if it's profitable for the lender, because the lender is going to do their due diligence. Remember the game of Monopoly, the banker never wins. Well, that's how it is in real life. So don't think you're going to outsmart no lender that has billions and billions of dollars. You're not that smart. I'm not that smart. Nobody on YouTube, nobody on social media, your guru or what have you, they're not that smart. So understand, remember, I told you, I'm going to share with you the truth. I'd rather tell you the hard truth than a soft lie, because many people are going to tell you a soft lie. So going back to what I said, so for the investor who knows skin in the deal is what I have to do. In order for me to get into that multifamily, I know I have to put skin into the deal. But where does OPM come in? That's what I'm going to share with you tonight. OPM, other people's money, allows you to leverage the six figures in funding that can be the portion that can, if the investor is saying 15% LTV, that means that 85% they'll do, you got to come up with the other 15. Or maybe they're saying 80% LTV, they'll do the 80%, but you got to come in with 20%. So what that means is you're not just getting into a deal, no money down. Because remember, I said, this is not for the investor who's looking for, I want the no money down deals. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. This is for investors who are either doing deals, understand how deals work, and know that skin in the game is required. And by doing that, if they need to leverage their own money, they don't want to do that. I get it. But they may want to leverage business funding. And that's where I come in. So that's why I don't blow no smoke and tell you that the way to the six figures in funding is by you getting the gas cards. I talked about that in the beginning. It's not about the net 30 accounts, where I talked about that in the beginning. It's about how you structure your LLC. So that is what I'm about to get into. So I wanted to just give you that whole backdrop so you understand, where I am going tonight. So I know I said a lot. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second. And if I have any questions, by all means, now is probably the time to ask me, because now I can look at questions. So let me check on Zoom. Okay. And if my screen don't work, by all means, I am going to look at my slides on the phone, and I'll be able to still do this webinar. Okay, I think I am here now. Okay, I am here. So where is... So I think I said enough about this right here. This is what pretty much the webinar is going to be about: how to position your LLC to get six figures in funding. So as I mentioned, the topic at hand, well, then why can't people get to the funding? So I kind of already went over this, who am I, why you should listen. I help real estate investors, as I mentioned, get six figures in business funding. And so as of to date of 2022, I've helped investors get access over $750,000 in business funding to be able to access and leverage to do deals that I just mentioned to you about, multifamily or what have you, or any type of investor deals. Understand that I'm a direct lending partner with lenders. So I know what it is that they are looking at. So this is not I kind of think, I know what they're looking at. So the fact that I know what lenders are looking for, I also know that the things that most people tell people online is not something that lenders are looking for. So I kind of went over the goal tonight. I told you that my goal is to really dispel many of the myths and the strategies that are out there in the marketplace, which really leaves a lot of people confused, which is why a lot of people can't get to the funding. And so let's start right here. And this right here is, I know, going to make a lot of people feel uncomfortable. And as you can see the title, why some real estate investors are unable to access business funding capital. One is because they are building that 30 vendor accounts, and they're a waste of time. And the reason why they're a waste of time It's because I challenge anybody who's watching this webinar. I want you to go to your local bank, your credit union, or whoever you bank with, and ask the lender, what is the banker? What is their requirement for you to get a business line of credit, a term loan, and maybe even something unsecured, and see what they tell you. They're going to make any type of funding decision based on your vendor accounts. Another thing, which is a myth, is you don't need a high credit score. So many people come to me and they think that they need a 700 credit score. And this is my answer to that, because most people are like, oh, Lorelia, you only work with lenders who want high credit scores. The reason why it's not that I want the individual, the investor I work with, to have a high credit score. I've told this so many times. People with low credit scores can still get access to business funding. I have did videos on it. I have talked about it. The reason why anyone, whether you got low scores or high scores, is because subprime loans make billions for lenders. Lenders get paid billions of dollars for giving you, the business owner, a merchant cash advance loan, because that's usually what many business owners who have low credit scores get. They get the merchant cash advance loans. And so the interest rates and the fees are so exorbitant that they pretty much suck the air out of the business owner or the real estate investor. And so I have did the personal assessment myself to say, I don't want to see people financially shackled that way. So I don't want someone that I know is trying to build generational wealth. They want to leverage capital. They believe in that if they get access to real estate and they become a real estate investor, they can break a lot of generational curses. Why would I advocate for them to get a bad loan that can jack them up? Why would I do that? So that is my answer for people who say, well, what do my credit score has to be? It's not what your credit score has to be, because anyone can get funding. It's just that, are you going to get the best terms? You are not going to get the best terms if someone who has age credit with a good mix, because I'm going to tell you right now, I have seen people, and I know you have heard people talk about 680 credit scores, but if you go on my YouTube channel, historically, I've been talking about 680 credit scores since 2018. People are just talking about 680 credit scores right now. So 680 credit scores, I have seen people with 680 credit scores who have a good mix that are able than someone with a 750 or 800. So don't believe the hype that you need to have an 800 credit score, because it's all about the mix. And I'm not going to go over that tonight, because that's a whole nother topic to unpack, because many people are learning from people who are telling them they only have 3 credit scores. And you do not have 3 credit scores. You have 28 FICO scores. The credit bureaus do not create scores. They are the ones who have the information. And from the information, it is funneled to FICO, and FICO creates the score. But that's a whole nother topic. But understand, that's another reason. Business owners, real estate investors do not understand how their FICO score plays a large part in funding. And I know that is going to make a lot of people feel uncomfortable, because the topic of personal credit is a sore spot for a lot of people. It brings a lot of pain if they have not gotten over that hurdle of rebuilding their credit or restoring their credit. So if they know that they have low credit scores, and those low credit scores is what they're still dealing with, they sold the vision. They saw the vision of what their guru has. Their guru has planes. Their guru has, multiple properties, and they want that, and they want to break the generational curse, but they're still dealing with the stint and the stigma of the low credit scores. So now they're looking for someone who is going to sell them a dream of, I'm going to give you 6 figures in funding, and your personal credit plays a part. And to tell you, that is one of the reasons why many individuals, real estate investors, business owners cannot get funding. Because understand, you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you. Remember, I said I'm going to be the voice of reason tonight. Business credit, business funding is the byproduct of personal credit, which we're going to go over tonight. Business credit, business funding is not in a funnel of its own. It does not stand by itself. And when it does stand by itself, you best to have the revenues to show that it can stand by itself. And I'm not talking you're falsifying your information. I'm not talking about that, because remember I said everything we do here is truthful, and for those who are watching it live, or if I decide to make this a replay, understand, if you gravitate to the conversation and the stigma of you have to lie, you have to put your firstborn name and information, you have to falsify your financials, you got to lie, you got to, say anything to get funding. I'm going to tell you right now, none of what I'm going to share with you is going to be of interest to you, because you have already bought into the lie that in order for you to get access to funding, you have to lie. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. If you walk the straight and narrow, and I get it, the straight and narrow is not what people want to do. They want someone who's going to tell them a soft lie. And so another thing, really a reason why investors are unable to get access to capital is because they're buying these bogus shell corps. You'll be surprised that even in 2022, you still have people buying trade lines. They really feel like that buying trade lines is the way for them to get to the bag. And I'm here to tell them who's still doing that. Who y'all talking to? Now that'll get you maybe 5,000, 10, 15, and it's nothing wrong with that. I recently just showed people who are on my email list, and I shared with those individuals the $15,000 LLC line of credit I got access to. Now I can hear people saying, now, well, Lorraine, if you're touting about 6 figures, why would you share the results of 15K? The reason why I would share the results of a 15K LLC, a line of credit, because it's about getting access to capital, and it's stacking the money, because it's stacking season. So remind you, real estate deals, if you're a real estate investor, deals are going to come down the pipeline. Don't believe the hype. I know they have said, the economic specialists and experts have said we are in a bona fide recession based on the GDP of a certain amount of quarters. But understand, individuals are still going to win in real estate. And my question to you, are you going to be in position? So the reason why I shared the win of the 15K LLC, because that's just one of many. That's just one of many LLCs that if you are a real estate investor, you need to be doing. Okay, so now let's get into the topic of hand. Let's get into what it is that people really want tonight, the LLC. How I get to the money, Lorraine. You're talking too much. How do I get to the money? Number one, the reason why you cannot get the money for your LLC is because you have a real estate LLC. That's right, I said it. You have a real estate LLC. I don't teach that. I get it. You need a real estate LLC. Maybe you want to you want to close on deals. You currently may own a multifamily property and it's in a real estate LLC, but the real estate LLC is not the LLC that you need to be getting funding with. And that is what I teach individuals. I teach them that there should be a separate LLC for different things. So your real estate LLC is not your funding LLC. And so many people, I recently had a conversation with a person, will not disclose if it was a man or a lady, because you never know who's watching, but literally had a conversation and the person told me, that they had an LLC. They could not afford the LLC of their state, will not disclose it, but understand it's one of the states in the US that have high, LLC fees. And they couldn't afford it. So the guru or the person that they went to told them to go to another state. Well, this is it. This is it. And this is where I say with the no money down, crew. By all means, I get it. We are becoming a very informed society. We got people telling us about, LLC structuring, trust, protecting your assets. But my question is, and I've said this to clients of mine, what are you protecting? What are you protecting? Because if you don't even have money to invest in the LLC of your state and you got to go to another state where it's cheaper, what we talking here? What we're talking. So the person was sold into what's a real estate LLC. So whether you have been sold it, your lawyer did it, maybe you did it, your guru taught you how to do LLC. I teach my clients that the real estate LLC that you have is not going to be the LLC that you're going to get funding with. So let's be clear. And the reason why is because it just has to do with it being a real estate LLC. Many funding entities do not like to lend to real estate. It's just what it is. And so we saw this even with the PPP. If you remember the early stages of when PPP was rolled out, for those who were doing it legitimately, they ran into some problems because there were certain industries that could not get PPP funding. Real estate was one of them, just so you know. But the workaround for that, for clients of mine who were in position, and I share videos on this, is that you have to have an LLC that is not a real estate LLC. And that would bring me to the next slide, which is you need what I called a QFE, a qualified funding entity LLC. This is going to be your LLC that you are going to be able to funnel the money in. So as I'm working with clients and I'm sharing with them whether they're looking at loans, whether they're looking at unsecured lines of credit, unsecured, meaning that they don't have to put up no collateral. How powerful is that? You're getting access to high 5 figures, 6 figures in funding, and you don't even have to put up collateral. So imagine you talking to a lender. You're in position, you're looking at properties, you're ready to put something down, you're ready to be able to put an offer in. And you already know what lender you're going to use. And the lender is requiring you to put some skin in the game. Because remember, tonight we're talking to the serious real estate investors. We're not talking to the investors who doing no money down. I get it. There's many things in real estate you can do with no money down. But this right here, this ain't the place. This ain't the place. So no disrespect for no money down real estate deals, but we're talking about deals where you have to put skin in the game. Because the lender wants to know that, are you really serious? You want a lender, and this is the part I don't understand with people. They want a lender to lend to them money on a real estate deal, whether it's a fix or flip, buy and hold, what have you. and then they don't want to put no money into it. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Like a lender gonna loan you, especially up here in the market where I'm at, where multifamilies could go for $500,000, $250,000. So you want a lender to give you that amount of money. You don't put no skin in the game. Now, once again, this is not for the no money down crowd. Now I get it. People will say, well, Aurelia, people are doing no money down deals every day. And you know what? They are right. But when it comes to you wanting to leverage lenders' money, and you want a lender to lend to you money for you to finance that real estate property, there are going to be lenders who want you to put skin in the game. They are going to want you to put skin in the game. Now, another thing that people always say, okay, well, agree with this QFE, with this qualified funding entity. Well, what is it looking like? Is it credit cards? Is it lines of credit? Is it term loans? Well, what is it? What is it? And this is what I say to that person. The only people who ask what type of funding it is, whether it's personal, whether it's business or what have you, remember, you are funneling the money into your business qualified funding entity. Once again, we're doing nothing illegal. All this, what I'm teaching you is all on the books. I teach people how to do this thing right. This ain't we gonna tell the bank one thing on application and get the check and this ain't that. This is you being able to get access to funding and have all the funding that you're getting, and it's going to go into your qualified funding entity. So going back to what I said, for that person who's like, well, Aurelia, what is it? Is it credit cards? Is it lines of credit? Is it term loans? And this is my answer to that. Investors who are doing deals, meaning they have did deals, or they have bought properties, and they understand what is required for them to get into the property. They really don't care how they get the money, whether it's on the personal or the business side. Because at the end of the day, if I remember correctly, all money spends. There ain't no you spend money a certain way on your personal than you do on your business. But I understand why people would think that, because people are trying to do, which is another thing that is taught online a lot, is they want to get access to a lot of business credit. They don't want to do a PG, and they want to trick out on the money. And if they don't pay it back, they don't want anything on their personal credit. And my answer to that is, once again, I'm not for you, because I'm not going to teach people, and I'm not interested in working with people who are looking to defraud any type of financial institution or lender to get access to money, because I like freedom. So once again, I'm not trying to go to jail for that. So for those who are looking to do that, I'm not your person. But if you are a good financial steward of your finances, and this goes back to what I said when I said the reason why many people are unable to get funding is because they do not understand the correlation of your personal FICO, your personal credit, and your LLC structure. And when you understand those two things, and you know that that is the reason how to get to the money, then funding will be your oyster. It is not hard to get access to money. And that is what I mean when I tell people that. It's not hard to get access to funding. It only gets hard when you are trying to swim upstream. And when I say you're trying to swim upstream, you are that person who knows that your personal credit may need work, but you are not ready to face that giant. And so what happens is that you have bought into the tricks and the strategies of the net 30s and all this other stuff. And you're wondering, well, how do I get to the money? Because anyone will tell you who have been able to get access to credit cards, and I'm talking about top tier credit cards. I'm not talking about the first premiers and the credit ones and the open skies. I'm talking about the top tier credit cards. And this, by all means, it's not the cosign on these companies, but they are top tiers. The Chases of the world, the BOAs, the Citibanks, the top banks in the world, the American Express or what have you. When you are getting access to top tier credit and you see how easy it is to get access to, you never want to ruin that. You don't want to ruin that because sky's the limit. You see how easy it is to convert credit to cash flow. And that's why for that person who's saying, well, is it personal? Is it business? Like I said, investors who are doing deals, it don't really matter because it will wash itself out, when you invest in the property. Now, once again, this is coming from a person. I'm not a debt-free person. Like if that is what you stand on, I like my utilizations low. I don't really, I don't like carrying debt. Then I'm gonna tell you, this strategy of 6 figures in funding and investing in real estate is going to scare you because it takes a person who is very, I want to say, I don't want to use the word astute, but it takes a person with good willpower to be able to manage that amount of money and funding and invest it in real estate, because this is the part that no one will tell you. It's a good chance that you can literally lose your shirt. You can invest in the wrong type of deal. You can possibly buy the wrong type of deal. But you know what? The rent is still due, meaning the payment is still due to the lenders that you've gotten the money from. So that's why I say this conversation isn't for everyone. I feel like there is a place for the no money down investor. I get it. Wholesaling, I started with wholesaling. So wholesaling is a great place to start with no money. I have people who reach out to me and they're like, oh, I'm a wholesaler, I want to access the funding. And then when I, ask them some more questions, what I find is that they don't need funding. And once again, I'm the person who's going to tell you the truth. There's people who are going to sell you on, you need business credit or what have you, but some people are just not ready for it. And like I said, I'm a conscious person. I consciously, can't see someone get jammed up because they've just been sold to juice. So I always say, I'm not a good fit for you, but there's someone out there who may be a good fit for you. And so even what I'm sharing with you tonight, how do I bring this all together? Because I don't want to be here that long. Let me look at the time. I believe it is, it's 8:00 already. We started at 7. I don't want to hold you that long. But how do I put this all together? If you want an LLC that is fundable, it cannot be your real estate LLC. So understand that. So I know you've taken the courses, you have the guru, you're in the Facebook group, and you're still trying to figure out how to get to the funding. And so it can be a lot of things. It can be that you only have a real estate LLC. It could be that you're not your business is not positioned to get funding on its own, and so your personal credit is going to be looked at. The guru won't tell you that because they're telling you where they're at. See, they're telling you their story at chapter 30. So where they're at now, they have relationships. So they're They're getting the properties. Like, I'm not saying what they're telling you is a lie. I truly believe they're getting the properties with their LLC. They're doing all that. But they also are not sharing with you the journey, and that's where the personal credit is. See, they may not be using personal credit now because personal credit does have a place. Because let's be honest, going back to what I originally said, what I talked about, let's look at what type of real estate are you looking to invest in. And I went into, if you were looking at a multifamily property and you have maxed out FHA, and now you don't even want to do conventional because you're a business owner and you may not have the best record keeping, but you can show that your business is bringing in money. You can show that the investment property you're looking to buy, it can cash flow. And now you just need a lender to lend on that. Then that's where this strategy can work, because the lender is going to look for you to put skin in the game. That's why I said it's not a no money down type of deal. Lender puts up 80%, they want you to come up with 20. Lender puts in 85%, they're looking for you to come up with 15%. The OPM, other people's money, where does that come from? That's your QFE. That's your qualified funding entity that's going to fund the 15 and the 20%. Mic drop. That's it. That is it. So this, my friend, is what your guru is not telling you, or if they're telling you, they're probably just giving you pieces. And like I said, my goal tonight was to close a lot of the open loops. But that is what I share with my clients. That is what I teach them. And so, as promised, not going to leave, not going to, stay that long. And so if this is something that you're interested in, these are the conversations that I have that when I work with people. So once again, work with clients. And the goal is to get them the 6 figures and funding. This is just a portion of the framework that I teach. So, what I don't do, and this is what I tell people, my goal is not to take what you've learned from a guru and try to fill in the missing pieces on what they did and what they didn't tell you. Because by all means, I'm not trying to figure out nobody's thing. I know what I share with people, that it works. I show the social proof of this is what I'm doing for myself. That's one line of credit of many. So I share results of my clients, and I share results that I am doing, because there are 2 types of people. There are the gurus who have it. By all means, they have they have all the trinkets, they have the properties, they have the credit, they have all this, but they can't translate it to you for you to get it. You see what I'm saying? Because they're leaving you in an open loop. They won't tell you the truth. And then there are those that I talked about in the beginning that they have no idea how to get money. Because if anyone who has worked with a lender like I do, I'm not just an affiliate where I just give you an affiliate link and we see if you can get you the funding. No, I am on the phone trying to find out from the lender, what is it that we need to do to make sure this person gets in position to get into the property, because understand, that's a whole nother conversation of, let me give you my affiliate link and let's see what happens. So we have those individuals who ain't help nobody get no money. That, like I said, they can help you get a Navy Federal credit card. By all means, no shade at that, because all that is an affiliate link. Hey, here's an affiliate link. It worked for me last week. I hope it worked for you this week. Good luck. And this is what I tell people. Most people can help you get 20,000, 5, 10, but the 15 that I showed on my email was one of many. So understand, the 6 figures is not someone just writing you $150,000 check. It is a combination, is a compound of many things that's going to get you to the goal of 6 figures. So that is it. That's all that I have for you. Like I said, if this is something that you're interested in, go to www.neverloseadeal.com. And so there you will be on my communication list. Some people who are watching may already be on my email list, and so you do get all the updates that I share. But if you're not, someone shared it with you and you don't really know what you're looking at, you don't know who I am, like I said, go to www.neverloseadeal.com so you can stay plugged in to what I'm doing. And I hope that what I've shared with you have been helpful for you. Because like I said, my goal was not to share with you I was not going to tell you no sweet lie. I was going to tell you the hard truth. And for some people, they may be ready for it. But some people may not. So, but that is all that I have. And so good night. And like I said, you can go to www.never